We were in the middle of nowhere. One night I woke up and there's just screaming everywhere.
Oh my God.
Like, the roof was shaking. What the is going on?
Yeah.
And so there was a troop of baboons like outside the front door and like on the roof, just like screaming. And there were 30 of them. There were so many.
And welcome back to the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Hey.
How's it going? How you feeling?
Like dog shit.
As always.
Not always, episode. But you know, it's been a while. I mean, since I just had COVID. But like, I feel like this year I was doing better than like, because I remember like all of our podcasts last year, I was definitely like sick. I'd be good for like a week or two and then I get sick again. But like this year, I swear it seemed a little bit better. And
yeah, the boys haven't gotten as sick.
Yeah, and then here we are. So.
Yep. So.
Sorry.
There'll be a lot of sniffling, a lot of coughing.
It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, disclaimer by the time this comes out, hey, if this is late, it's because we have a storm coming.
Yeah.
It's
There's a storm brewing in the Atlantic.
Right now it's a tropical depression. And it's supposed to hit anywhere between Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yay.
And somewhere close by.
Which means John and his other job, I was going to say his real job, his other job means he gets to abandon me and I get to be stuck in the house because he's working extra hours with the kids and the anxiety of a storm coming. So yay for me.
Hey, listen, it's not all rainbows where I'm going to be.
You love that stuff.
But I'm still going to be out in the elements.
Yeah, but you love it.
Yeah, I do.
You're going to be loving life and I'm going to be
not loving life because I'm gonna be loving what I do.
Yeah.
And worried about the house.
True. Yeah.
Because home ownership brings a whole new level of anxiety.
Well, and I mean, if you've been listening the whole time, we've had struggles with rain coming into our house.
Yeah,
leaking roof. Yeah. We fixed a good portion of it. And there's still one portion that needs to be fixed.
Taken care of, yeah.
So yeah, every time it rains, we get anxious. And then again, with a lot of rain and water, every time that happens, we are the lucky ones who are nearest the storm drain. And so we lose...
Yeah, when it backs up, we lose utilities.
We lose the use of our toilets and showers first. Everyone loses them.
Everyone loses
eventually, but we get to lose them first because we're closest.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's fun.
Pray for us.
It has been raining. So as the meteorologists like to say, the ground is saturated already from rains. Yeah. So this added water, it all depends on what the city does with the canal levels. And I'm sure this is all boring to you, but it's the reason why this podcast is late. If it's late, if not, hey, I made it on time with all of that happening. Yeah. So kudos to me, or sorry, it's late.
Right.
We don't know. We'll see how this plays out. But yeah, we have a great guest with an awesome story.
Before we get to that, though, let's...
shout outs.
And
new shout outs.
We'll remind people, let's see, when will this air? Is it still going to be in September? They're going to have like one more day, I think.
So you might, if I'm on time, you'll have one more day to win this great gift.
Actually, they won't.
Oh, sorry.
Because that'll be for patrons.
So it's wrapped up now, and we'll see who the lucky person is.
But we have two new ones, so thank you guys. And I'm going to give a special shout out to one of the newest ones, which is Stephanie Long.
Okay.
She is actually one of my students. Oh. And she's just a really cool person, but we've kind of like, talked in Messenger here and there. And I reached out to her when I saw that she became a patron and was like, thank you so much for becoming a patron, especially since we kind of had like a history. And she was just, we joked that it was like a pity sign up, but like it was, she knows how it is. She knows how the up and down is. We had lost a couple patrons, which I expected, but that didn't make it sting any less once it happened. But yeah, we had lost a couple just because of, subscriptions of that kind are kind of the first thing to go when people are tying back their, their expenses. And yeah, she just signed up because, she was listening and thought that it was time, and I appreciated that.
We appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you for joining, and thank you for everyone who listens.
Yeah,
really.
No, totally. I mean, everyone who signs up and everyone, whether you subscribe to 1 month or every single month, or you have for a couple years, it really means the world to us.
And for those of you who share it, who talk about it with all your laser friends, and say, "Hey, have you listened to this podcast?"
Yeah, there's tons of free ways to support us too. Is just talk about it, share it,
and it's also a great time to say, "Hey, subscribe to our YouTube page."
Yes,
Riley Black Designs
and Patreon.
Yep.
So let me go over our patrons for the month of September, especially since we have a couple new ones.
Yep.
So we have Stephanie, Kayla, Barbie, Madison, Danny, Catherine, Renee, Emily, Amanda, Andrea, Keith, Josie, Mark, Kathy, MJ, Ryan, and Will.
Of course, Will.
Thank you guys.
Yes. Thank you
the OGs and the newbies. We love you all. And yeah, we literally wouldn't do this without you guys. Because, I mean, if it wasn't growing and like getting that good feedback and becoming like a thing, I totally would have been like, okay. Yeah, I mean, because, there's other things that we could invest our time in. True. Especially if this was like stagnant or not getting the good feedback that is actually helpful to people. So
yeah, we're glad we can help people and
we thank you for being here.
Yes, we do. And with that, I say let's get our guest on the line.
All right, I'm gonna go blow my nose.
All right, we'll be right back. And we're back with our guest, Erin Vargos of Erin's Animal Acrylics.
Erin Vargos.
Vargo, no S. Vargo.
Hi, Erin.
Vargo, no S.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Oh, hanging in there.
We're good. I'm good. She's always, sick.
Always.
Whatever. I mean, go back to some episodes.
I know. I was doing really good for a while.
You were?
And then here we are. So, normally we talk about how we met, and I met you because you reached out to us. So I guess kind of tell us how you came across the podcast and all that stuff.
Yeah, so a couple months ago, I'm pretty new to the laser world, so I was just joining all the Facebook groups, and I saw in Will's group the conference, and so I was gonna sign up for the conference, and then I'm in Michigan, so like a round trip plane ticket was gonna be $800. So I thought about it. I'm like, I might just wait till the Oklahoma one. And then the Oklahoma one, I don't think it's really happening. So we'll just wait till next year. But I think I don't know if it got posted in Will's group or somehow I came to your Facebook group and I just saw the podcast. And so I thought I would give it a try. And I really like podcasts. I mostly listen to like true crime. And I started getting a little too scared.
Paranoid about every little thing.
I listen to My Favorite Murder a lot. It's like a true crime comedy podcast. But then I saw your podcast and I was like, ooh, if I listen to something different, I might actually be able to sleep at night. So I started listening. I'm like, wow, I can learn a lot. And I've just been able to follow all these different people and kind of learn from them that we've interviewed before. And so I've made it, since it's only been a couple months, I've made it to episode 35.
Nice.
Being an hour long, so I'm trying. I'm getting there.
I know, it's crazy. I was thinking the other day, considering this is our 80th episode that we're recording right now.
Wow.
And like I was like, man, if someone finds us now, they have like a solid like 80 plus hours to catch up on. And so if they listen all day, every day, it's going to take them weeks to catch up.
Also, plus, we release them every week. So they'll be listening to the old one, like, oh, wait, I got to listen to the new one. So, they'll be bouncing back and forth.
Yes, I was trying to get through as many as possible before coming on. And so I listen when I'm walking the dog or driving or painting. And so we're getting there.
Nice.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for listening to our catalog.
Yes, thank you. So tell us what were you doing before you got into the laser world?
So I have been a zookeeper for pretty much my whole adult life.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Cool.
Thank you. And so it's been like 5 years, but I moved down to Ohio to take a job at the Columbus Zoo. And the people I lived with, it's kind of a funny story. So my mom sold their house in Michigan, and these people bought her house. And this was before I had my job in Ohio, and they conveniently lived in Columbus. And they're so kind. They're like, if you need somewhere to stay, I know zookeepers don't make a lot of money. You can stay with us. And I was like, oh, okay. That's very kind of you. And one of those women, Nancy, she had a whole wood shop in her basement. So before that, I'd never done anything crafty. I can't draw to save my life. We didn't go there with arts and crafts. But then she was, at the time, she was working on like acrylic pour painting.
I love those.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ever heard of that?
Yeah. So I'm actually looking at it now. My old desk in my office, it was 3 huge, like custom made by you. It was literally just like a piece of plywood and like the legs. But there was a frame. Well, yeah. I mean, no, it was, but it wasn't like, it wasn't.
I did a good job.
Super fancy. You did a great job, but like I needed to finish them off somehow, and I finished the top of them by doing an acrylic pour. But it was like a huge pour for my first one. It was literally the only one I had ever done, but I really liked it. If I had the space to do that as like a craft, for like the drying time and all of that goes into it. And like, I mean, it took our whole, it was 3 huge tables, but it took our living room for like several weeks. So, I love watching the videos. I could watch acrylic pour videos, like, I mean, all day, every day. So yeah, it's a really interesting craft to me. And again, it's something if I had unlimited space, I would totally do.
Yeah, it does take forever to dry with the layers of paint.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, she was just working on that. And since I was new to Ohio, I didn't have any friends yet. I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to just learn to get crafty. So, and I joined those Facebook groups, and I'm like, how do I set myself apart? Everyone's doing this on just a square canvas.
Right.
And then she had a CNC router. And since I worked with cheetahs, she's like, I can cut you out like a wooden shape of a cheetah to do acrylic pour on. So I did one of those, and then my coworkers wanted some, and other zookeepers wanted some, and then I started just doing like basic animals, like sea turtles and giraffes, because everyone likes those.
We both have actually giraffe tattoos.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
But giraffes are her thing.
It's my favorite animal. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna probably have to send you a giraffe painting.
Send it my way.
I will. I'll definitely get you one. I just did another big batch of them. But yeah, you should send me pictures of you guys' tattoos too. They're a great animal.
Yeah. They're so cool. I mean, if people don't know how they fight, look it up now. Like I remember I was several years probably, I think, into my obsession with giraffes before I found out like how they fought. And I was like, oh my God. It's like, it's shocking if you don't know. And then you see it and it's like, it's real aggressive and interesting looking. Yep.
Just the sound. I'm sure I'm thinking of like one of the exact same videos you've seen it viral on Facebook, and it was like, bong!
Yeah.
Crazy. I'm like, how are you not breaking your neck?
Right?
Yeah. That's a big neck.
Yeah. So you're making giraffes and lions and tigers and bears, right?
Oh my.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh my. Yes, definitely. But the market picked up because people wanted really specific things. And so I do customs, and they'll order something like a fox face rabbit fish, and I was like, what the hell is that?
Well, and then I mean,
like,
fox face.
That's the hard part too, is that you have to then you have to hope that whatever that is, that the silhouette of them is recognizable, because there's not like any like details. You lose a lot of the details because it's really just the shape.
Yeah.
But to them, they probably notice it, right?
Most people are like pretty good with a general shape. There's one Etsy shop where I buy a lot of my silhouettes from, who has pretty much like most common animals in the book, but for like the fox-faced rabbitfish. I had to do research on that. What even? I'm like, is it? I was like, a fox and a rabbit.
And a fish.
Okay, we gotta. Yeah. So that one I had to kind of like get a picture and trace it, which I know that's bad because it's not my own picture, but I was like, I don't know.
Right. I mean, yeah, technically. So technically when you're coming down to like copyright and IP, like tracing someone else's photo is not, but like at the same time, like that silhouette that like it's not recognizable as their photo anymore. Not that that probably makes it okay legally, but yeah. Yeah.
But I'm like, it's not as bad when it's painted. And
right.
Like, I don't think anyone's going to come for me in this scenario.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's not like you're like mass producing them and like sending it to everybody. Like, here, come get your fox rabbit fish. Fox face rabbit fish blanks over here.
Yeah.
Have you had a man bear pig yet?
Man bear pig.
You know,
it's a South Park reference.
I have. But I would love to get the opportunity to make one. Maybe I'll do that this weekend or something.
There's
funny.
someone out there who's a South Park fan that'll appreciate that bear pig.
Yeah.
I bet my boyfriend's birthday is coming up.
Yep.
And he loves
half
South
man,
Park,
half bear, half pig.
But that's
nope. Don't. Half
the
man.
Math does. I'm not good at
bear,
math, but that doesn't.
Nope, it works.
Okay.
It works.
Not connecting.
But when you carry the one,
don't carry anything. 3 halves.
Don't give me like college flashbacks over here. We're done with that.
Right. So you were doing this while you were still a zookeeper, right?
Yes.
And are you still a zookeeper?
I am not. So it's not a field that pays a livable wage.
Yeah.
So I worked at Columbus for 3 years, and it was amazing. We had so many cheetahs. We had a couple litters of cheetah cubs, and I felt like I did what I set out to do in that career. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I'd done an internship in Africa and another one in Oregon and one at Disney, and
so cool.
So
how was Africa?
That was awesome. I have so many stories about Africa, and I think when I was out there, you're gonna get me on a tangent here.
That's fine.
Go for it. We like tangents.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So I went there like after high school, a year into college. I just really, for some reason, my whole life I wanted to work with cheetahs, and so I just Googled cheetah internships, and the first one that popped up was in Africa. And so I just threw out an application.
Done and done.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to go get it. And I wasn't expecting to get accepted or anything because I didn't have experience in the field yet. But I heard back and I got accepted. I'm like, oh, crap. I got to raise like $2,000 for a round trip plane ticket.
Right.
But my family and all my friends were awesome. And I pretty much, I made a GoFundMe and I raised the whole plane ticket.
That's awesome.
So it was, it's a place called the Cheetah Conservation Fund, and they are in Namibia. I always accidentally want to say Namibia. It's a hard word to say.
Yeah.
So they have a bunch of rescue cheetahs there. So I think at the time there were 34 when I was there. So it was just kind of taking care of them. But it was kind of neat because it's just out in the middle of nowhere. So you're in these kind of like well-structured huts. So like there's this much of a gap, if you guys can see my fingers. It's like a couple inches under the door, so little critters can kind of get in at night. And one night I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and sat on a gecko.
Oh my god, I would die.
I guess in the broad span of things, a gecko's pretty good.
That's true. I would choose a gecko over like several other things. Yeah. Were there big spiders? There's always big spiders in those like areas.
Yeah, so I was there luckily in the dry season, but my roommate, she was there in the wet season right before me when they had to have mosquito nets, and she said one night she woke up and there's a tarantula climbing up her mosquito net. We might turn around and go home right now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I would like shove towels under the door at night to try to keep stuff out. Like snakes was my big thing because there's so many venomous snakes over there, and it's not like we're gonna drive into town an hour and get you the anti-venom, because these are snakes that you get bit, you're probably gonna die. So that made me pretty nervous. But the worst part, there's two like big stories I have. So since we were in the middle of nowhere, one night I woke up and there's just screaming everywhere.
Oh my God.
Like, the roof was shaking. What the is going on? And so there was a troop of baboons like outside the front door and like on the roof, just like screaming. And there were 30 of them. There were so many. And up close, baboons are so scary. Their teeth are like this long.
Oh my God.
For people who can't see us, like a couple inches long, and they're terrifying. So I was like, well, I'm not going to eat breakfast today. We're just going to stay in here, and the cheetahs can take care of themselves.
So how long did it take for them to like
disperse,
chill out, and go?
A couple hours.
Oh.
But it was kind of like super early in the morning, so it's fine. I still got my breakfast. So. But yeah,
good thing you got to eat breakfast and you didn't become breakfast.
Yeah, thankfully. They since we were out in the middle of nowhere, they were pretty much around the whole time I was there for a couple months, and that troop always was floating around, and like warthogs and kudus, and
what's a kudu?
It's like a huge antelope with big curly
horns.
But it was really cool because they had so many hundreds of acres out on the reservation. We would go out on game drives and we would see giraffes and rhinos, and
that's so cool.
In the in their element.
Well, and it's like it's so awesome. Like it's, you have to have like the venomous spider or venomous snakes, the big huge spiders, the like scary baboons, but like that stuff comes with it because you have like such cool thing, like you know what I mean, like the coolest areas do have the like most terrifying things, so you like you got to balance like the risk and reward of that, but
life
like
comes with
how
pros
cool
and cons.
But like how cool of an experience is that you know, obviously there were some scary parts, but once you know, you do what you can to protect yourself, and then you have these really cool stories.
That's a totally great life experience.
Oh, it was. And they were like, if you're gonna go walk all the way up to the office at night, make sure you bring a buddy, because there's leopards.
Oh hell no!
Open. There's not like a gate around the place. I remember the one thing that sticks out the most is I was out with the ecology team checking our camera traps. And we went to one, and the ecologist was like, "Don't look up." I'm like, "Well, you don't say it like that." Like, what do you mean, don't look up? And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna back up. But of course, when someone says don't do something, you immediately look up, and there was like the biggest python I have ever seen in my life, like coming down out of a big tree, like right above me.
See, that's where I would have looked up.
Like, you guys have snakes.
Yeah.
But it was huge. I didn't even, I'm like, I didn't know we were going to see that in the wild. So I'm like, I'm noping out. We're good.
That's crazy. I would have looked at that.
On this one.
I would have seen that. I would have been scared.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, because it's a wild, like, it's like, but at the same time be amazed. Much like the baboons experience, I would have probably been shitting my pants. But I've been like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Especially afterwards, after it's over.
Like, during.
Really?
I wouldn't know if there is going to be an after, but this is pretty cool because these are baboons.
It's awesome while I might die.
Yes.
I might get attacked later, but this is cool.
Rafiki's on the roof banging.
I mean, Rafiki's a lot nicer than the ones on the...
Only when we saw him during the movie.
This
in his
is true.
Personal
he was
life,
probably on his best behavior during the movie.
Yeah, because he was acting. But when he's at home, he's banging on roofs. Yeah.
Yes. Big old purple butt up in the air, just twerking up there or something. I don't know.
Did you just say twerking up there?
Yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome. So how do you bring that to to like when you're at a zoo, you see them in the wild and you're all there. Now you come to a zoo. Is it like is it a little boring? Is it like how does that translate coming from Africa early on to now the zoos?
So I had originally thought I was going to go into conservation my whole life, and being there, I was so homesick. So going to the zoo, that was like my next best thing to do. And for me, it was the opposite of boring. So we, just like how you guys have laser conferences, we have tons of zookeeper conferences where we teach each other. We call it enrichment. It's just like something fun and new to do to give the animals every single day so they're not bored. So like you guys have a pig and we have pigs, so we do something different for the pigs all the time. Or if we had baboons, we make all these toys, and maybe one day you feed them their food like raw, and one day you freeze it, one day you hide it all over the exhibit. So just having to come up with all these different ideas to keep them entertained was pretty entertaining for me as well.
Well, so you said that zookeepers didn't really like make a living wage. Like, did a lot of them have like 2 jobs, or were they like the other half of a spouse that like made the living wage? Like how did you guys live basically?
It's usually if you're in it for a while, it's probably a well-off spouse. Like I had one coworker whose husband was a doctor and one whose husband was a lawyer, and I was like, where do you guys find these people?
Right.
So, and if you're seasonal, then you usually have
something else.
Jobs. But it's like such physical work. I never had a second job, luckily, because the people I lived with were so kind. And they didn't charge me rent just because they were also well off themselves. So, but it's just, I would come home and be too tired to shower. Just sit in my filth. Probably like cheetah diarrhea on my pants or something. But,
and you're like, I'm good. I can't. So then how did you get to actually like transition fully from zookeeper? So do you do the laser work and acrylic painting like full time?
I really wish I did. But so I had kind of a little bit of like a 6-month gap where I just needed to process quitting my dream job. And so that was like, because that was right at the end of COVID, so there was still a little bit of unemployment money left, so I kind of coasted for a bit there. But so I work customer service for a utility company right now, and I cannot say that I like it very much. But,
pays the bills.
It pays the bills, and I'm going to try to use it kind of as a stepping stone to... They have a lot of environmental paths you can kind of wiggle your way up through with the utility company. So I guess that's a temporary plan, but I would love to just go balls to the wall with my Ep80 stuff and do that full time. So we're trying to figure out how to do that right now. So I watch a couple YouTube videos to teach myself something new every night.
That's huge. I mean, a lot of people, Will, I think a couple weeks ago or even like last week, investing in yourself and learning things is huge in growing your business. Because if you're not like trying to advance yourself, if you're not learning something new, you're kind of just like staying the same. And that's okay if that's where you want to be. But if you want to be somewhere else, you need to learn more things. You
need to add more tools to your toolbox.
Yes. Yeah, because I haven't really done anything different than just use my Glowforge to cut out animal shapes. And so I've just been watching tons of tutorials on maybe I want to make ornaments or cutting boards or who knows what. And I think I'm stuck in there's too many options and I can't
it's the options paralysis or there's too many options, and that I mean that gets me all the time. I'm in it right now because we're thinking about adding some physical products, and it's hard because it's like I want to add all the things, but like none of them at the same time. I know, but I'm just saying it's hard to choose.
I'm gonna man the physical products.
Yes, you are.
So.
See, and which is hard for me because it's even easier for me to be like, oh, we'll do this because I'm not the one who's actually going to be doing it.
Oh, no. I know that about you. I know that about you because we have a lot of projects.
We. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and by we, she means me.
Mm-hmm.
So
putting you to work.
Always. Oh, we need to do this. Oh, we do? What part are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me? Oh, you meant me. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's just an easier way for her to say, you need to do this.
You wanted me to start saying we more.
Not what I meant. Not what I meant.
Got a little mommy micromanager going on.
Of course.
Micro. Macro.
Macro.
So, now you threw me off talking shit. And
I'm sick. We're talking about paralysis.
Yes, there's again, it's like it's a great problem to have because it's literally like it's endless. You don't have to worry about doing the same thing as someone down the street. You don't have to worry necessarily about like too much competition sometimes because even if you're doing ornaments, you could do different ornaments. Right. But it's like there's so many options. So for us like creative people, we want to do like all the things, but you can't physically do all the things. Right. So
she also has a great like almost niche in like sticking with animals. Right. Like with the animals you can do like fun Christmas ornaments with animals and tumblers with animals. Like there's it's
not
also,
on a glow forge.
It's
not on a glow forge.
Oh,
well, but eventually she gets a bigger
she jumps to the mirror,
right,
or a thunder or something. But I mean, the option is there to grow into something like that,
right?
But it's still like niche, but also you do have a lot of options,
right?
As well.
And I have, like, with the acrylic pour, doing that on animal shapes, I haven't found competition for that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anyone doing that on a scale to the degree I am. So I've sold it, like, not, because before I had my Etsy shop, I did it for 2 years just through Facebook. And I probably made at least 1,000 paintings.
That's awesome.
So it was going really good. And then I made the Etsy shop. And when I switched careers, I got depressed, so I stopped making, and I think that definitely hurt me, especially my social media.
Right.
But we're coming back. I just got this thing called a canvas lamp, which is a really expensive.
So did I.
Oh, you got one of those too?
I literally just got it yesterday.
Oh, the what came out?
Yeah. I love it.
They get you. They're what do I want to see? They're advertising is just as annoying as Glowforge.
It is, and it's good. Well, and what got me was Heather bought one, and she really loved it. And I was like, okay. So I like when she bought it, I almost went and ran and bought it because that's just if she has it, I want it. Right. And so, which she just bought a fiber, by the way.
Thanks a lot, Heather.
Anyway, so she bought one and I was like, oh, I want to go buy one, but I had just bought another one. So I have 2 mounts already. I have the Archon mount, which it's good, but I hate like all the like little joints and stuff. It's a pain in the ass for me. And then I also have one, I think it's called like Unique or something like that. But it like folds up. And so it's cool because it like folds up to like compact or whatever, but it doesn't have as much of the like flexibility. Like it's, you can go up and over, and that's about it. And it's like sometimes I need it to go further or more at an angle, and there wasn't as much flexibility as I hoped with that one. Right. And so I didn't want to go only for that reason. Did I not go buy the one that she got immediately? Because I'm like, I already have 2. Right. I don't want to go buy a 3rd one. And then when she was like, I really love it. And again, the marketing is great of like the like thousands of different angles that you can get. And I'm always struggling to get the angle I want on the other 2. But yeah, I'm excited to use it because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, me too. Because I wasn't gonna buy it. I'm like, that's a little out of my price range, but with my job, if there's like big storms, it's all hands on deck. So I got like forced for a 14-hour shift one day, and I didn't know I was on call, so I was really pissed off. And I'm like, we're gonna do some retail things.
Right? Yeah.
Like we're pulling the trigger on that thing. So.
Right.
and I've loved it. It's just so many. I think they have like 5 different vending points. And the light on it is actually nice.
Awesome.
So it's just been great. So I'm like, I finally am excited to make TikToks again.
Yeah.
So
well, and how many followers do you have on TikTok? You have quite a bit, don't you?
36,000. It went down a little bit during my depression period from switching careers.
Right.
But we're gonna get
that back up
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had another reason I quit zookeeping. I got kind of mad because I used TikTok to talk about the cheetahs. And I got up to 250,000 followers on TikTok, just like crazy. I couldn't believe it, and people just loved it. And little girls would come to me at the zoo, and they would draw me pictures of cheetahs. And be like, I knew you from TikTok, and the serotonin was just crazy through the roof. And then one day, my boss called me, and she's like, "You're not the official PR person. You gotta delete it all." And
oh no!
I'm like, no,
you know,
I was devastated.
Yeah, you know what that is. The PR person probably was getting heat that your TikTok was doing a lot better than anything that they were doing, and they're like, well, she's not even the PR person, so she needs to be taken down.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That's
I was
devastating.
like, why don't you just make me give me the TikTok, you know, like you guys popular,
right?
And I was like, I'll even donate you all the money I make from my TikToks if you just let me keep doing it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I had to give that up. So,
well, let's get you back up there. I think you can. I mean, listen, like I said, acrylic pours, I can watch those videos all day. Like they're so satisfying. So yeah, just if that's your content alone, like we'll get you back up.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm like, I got a therapist, so I'm like,
right? I need to get me one of them.
Full blast now.
Well, and I mean, that's a kind of a good opportunity to talk about like the mental health aspect of it and how it kind of like affects your business. It affects your passion. It affects, those kind of things. And it can be really hard to kind of like get out of that hole. And so how did you get out of the depression? Like, was it just therapy and constant work at it, or?
Yeah.
And if this is getting too personal, let me know. But,
no, it's not. I'm very open about talking about mental illness because I want other people experiencing this to feel like they're not alone.
Right.
So I remember I quit like right around Valentine's Day, and I was like, I couldn't even barely talk to my boss when I called him. I was so upset because I felt like everyone helped me so much to get me to that point of following my dreams, and I was just hyperventilating. So I'm like, I can't believe I just quit my dream job. Like, who quits their dream job? But actually, there's a lot of people that do it.
Yeah.
So I pretty much laid on the couch for like months. Not gonna lie.
So did you quit because of like need, or because you knew that like you couldn't continue to do it for any longer? Like, what was your reason for quitting?
Finances was a really big part of that.
Yeah.
To kind of put it into perspective, like I have friends that are full time in the field that make $12 an hour, and I'm just like max out maybe 20 tops for bigger zoos.
Right.
Maybe 20. Like with San Diego and Columbus is the second biggest zoo in the company. So if you're there for a long time, you can get up to like 25.
Yeah.
But it's just, it takes a very long time.
Right.
And I have family that is very strict on finances. And like, you start putting money in a 401k at 21, then you're like guaranteed to be a millionaire by the time you retire. And I'm like, I'm 26.
Right.
And I just, this is not happening for me. So, and I was just getting tired, and I took that TikTok thing very badly.
Yeah.
That was,
I mean, you worked at it. It was a lot of work and time and energy and love that you put into it. So yeah, that would definitely be devastating.
Well, and it was taken off. It's not like it was just,
you
you can't do those because you're not the face, and like only 5 or 10 people see it.
Yeah.
But when you have people coming to the zoo, and then that's probably the biggest thing.
Well, and that's
that was
the impact of like the kids and
and they were coming to see you or the cheetahs or whatever because of the TikToks. you know, it's yeah, it's a big hit. It's a big hit because it's your personal project.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, it was. I guess that's a good way to put it. And it was just constantly like 1 million views, or like even one had 1 million likes, and I was like, whoa.
That's nuts. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna pay me like so little, at least I have this other thing which is so cool. And then you take that out, and it was kind of like the thing that was holding you in there, and then they took it away. A little bit. Yeah, and I don't think some of my coworkers understood that just because they were older, and a lot of people don't understand like how powerful TikTok can be, especially for your business. Right. I made a lot of money when I had a couple of videos go viral on the business account. Right. But money, and I just felt like I did what I set out to do. Right. And like I got to raise a couple litters of cheetah cubs, and I even got to work with other animals like otters. That was they're so cute. Yeah, they were so cute. I should send you pictures of when they were babies. Definitely. They were like, hey, when I was new, they're like, hey, we just need someone to babysit the baby otters. Can you just go sit with them? Absolutely. Like, yes, I will. So, but yeah, I got to work with so many different animals, and I think the pressure of life just kind of got in there, and like thinking about how one day I want kids. I'll never be able to afford that, and I don't want to not have retirement and stuff. Yeah. So, at what point do you're giving all like your all, and then not really getting anything in return, and eventually you realize that it's either not sustainable for you personally, even though you'd want nothing more than to do that, you know, all the time and make tons of money doing it. Yes. And another thing, there would be like 40-year-olds that still work in the field whose bodies were like they were 80 just because it's such a physical job. I'm probably going to be like 40 when I have a kid. So I need to be physically able. Yeah. And so then how did you kind of eventually get out of it to kind of where you are now? I made like a pro and con list, and I decided I wanted, I kind of just decided I wanted to have nice things too. So I really took a deep look within myself, and I'm like, another thing that kind of drove me out actually was doing all that painting. I just loved to be able to paint. I was making more money with the acrylic pour animals than at the zoo, and I'm like, that's kind of sad. Right. So that was like, why am I working so hard to make such little money? Right. When like at the job I currently have, I can be on call for a full week and not even work and make a couple $100. Right. And I'm like, that's just, the work-life balance can be so much better now. Right. So then I like not having anyone bothering me. I want to be my own boss. That's the dream. Yep. Well, and so back to the mental health thing. Was it just therapy that got you out of it? Was it maybe more of the things that you enjoyed, like the acrylic painting, or? I adopted a pandemic puppy. No. So
for a minute there, I thought you were going to say she adopted a panda.
So did I. And I was like, oh my God.
Like, how do you adopt a panda?
Right. Hey, don't get me started on pandas. My opinion on pandas is that they're very dumb because they eat plants that are toxic to them, and they really don't do much.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, koalas are like alcoholics.
Yeah. Yeah. But panda, like, have you seen panda, like the videos on pandas? Like, they just so play cute all the time. Yeah. They're adorable. Yeah. And they're like, I mean, they're kind of like a little nuisance to the ones, like the videos of where they try and go in and like clean their enclosure. And they're like taking like the broom and.
Yeah, they're trolls. It's a perfect life.
They're awesome. I love them. And they're black and white. I mean, come on.
They're super cute. That'd be perfect. Like, they would bash your podcast studio.
Yeah. No.
They're a perfect little mascot for you.
I mean, they can be in like, we'll give them an area that they can mess up, but they can't touch this one.
Just like put a little baby one in with Jackson and JR.
Right? Oh my God, that would be, oof. Those two destroy enough on their own. We don't need help.
I bet. 2 boys. Whew.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Boy parents over here.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. So was it just like, I mean, gradual work? Because, I mean, I'm kind of in that now. Like, I feel like I'm kind of getting out of it, but it's definitely like a constant, like, I have to be careful because it can be really easy for me to just kind of like go back into that comfort of the funk, you know? And so now it's like just working to like get to the other side of it. Cause like I want to be on the other side of it, but like it kind of just keeps like bringing me back. Like, come here.
You are exactly right. It is comfortable to be in the funk.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of work. So the point of me getting a puppy was to force myself to go outside and walk instead of just be like a potato wrapped in a weird blanket.
Which with the pandemic, with the pandemic, I mean, it's been so easy to not have to do any of that. And while some of it is great, it turned a lot of us into like these creatures that don't go outside.
Hermits.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So that forced me to go outside twice a day because he's a German short hair pointer healer mix with a little bit of corgi in there. So he's just super high energy. And so just even fresh air helps a little bit. But it was painting, like making stuff, because I've heard you talk about in other podcasts, you got to take a day to make the stuff you actually want to make.
Yeah.
Not just your
orders or like,
or
here's another giraffe or here's another like,
Yes, that's super important because like I do a lot of custom work, but I also just go and make whatever I want. So maybe I'm doing a flamingo or like a horse or in Michigan, eagles sell really well.
Yeah.
So
that's what our last name means in Spanish, by the way.
That's what means?
Our last name, Aguila.
Oh, really?
Is eagle in Spanish. Yeah.
That's an interesting fun fact.
Yeah. Yep. He has an eagle tattoo on his arm. Yeah.
Giraffe.
An eagle and a giraffe. That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe then we can picture what it would be looking like for them to fight.
Right? I feel like the eagle would definitely have the upper hand.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Especially since
the giraffe will be swinging in the air.
Well, the giraffe's head is up top. So it'll probably like claw its eyes out first.
It's so nice. Yeah. And we took a left turn there.
I'm like thinking hardcore about this. I'm like, I don't know, maybe if the eagle's flying and the giraffe whips its neck out fast enough, or if it stomps on the eagle.
I don't know, those talons.
Yeah, those talons will get you.
Those talons are serious.
Yeah. So what would be some advice that you would give to a new or struggling laser owner?
Ooh.
Or someone just starting out.
Business owner, yeah.
Someone starting out like you, just like, left their career, maybe their dream career, to start something new.
What I did, I just hit the YouTube videos so hard. So I think that's so important to just watch as many tutorials as you can. And I like my method of watching a couple of videos per night. Especially since it takes forever to get your laser, usually. Yeah. Both forges a couple months.
And it's funny you say that because our last episode, that was the advice that they gave as well when prepping for your laser and waiting for it to arrive. Because even when they are going to be in stock, it's still probably going to take several weeks, maybe even like a month or something. Right, and so that's still time for you to be prepping by watching tutorials and videos and making it less scary, when you get there. And if you're watching these videos, it's less scary to try new things. I know it is for me. If I want to try something, if I can find a couple tutorials on YouTube, I'm not going in blind.
Right.
And now I'm like, ooh, now I want to go and try it because I feel like I have this confidence of these videos, instead of just trying to figure it out myself from scratch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'd never even heard of lasers before, because I got one because I had always used a CNC to cut those sheets. And then when I moved back from Ohio to Michigan, I was looking to buy one for myself. And then, of course, on YouTube, Glowforge is in every single ad that pops up.
Yep.
Ooh, what is this? No sawdust?
Uh-huh.
So
right.
I took those nice little stimulus checks we got in the pandemic and put those towards the Glowforge.
Nice.
So mine is named Stimmy for the stimulus
I
checks.
love it. That's
and
great.
I know we should have used that money to pay bills, but I already...
Yeah, what fun is that?
I mean, it's kind of... just think of it as a PPP loan.
Yeah, there we go.
Business.
Exactly. I was investing in my business.
Exactly.
I mean, you were.
Yeah.
It's not like a lot. You took the money to invest in yourself, in your business.
Yeah.
Yes. And I have made decent money since then. So,
awesome.
Yeah. So, that's why I had to watch so many YouTube videos. Like, when I got it, I was so terrified. And, I tried to start it without taking the orange pieces out, and it was just like...
Oh, no.
I don't know if it's supposed to do that.
Right.
So YouTube is just that. Yeah, that's my biggest advice. And you're gonna mess up 1,000 times, especially with learning settings.
Yeah.
So
and what's I'm terrible at quotes, but there's a quote about if you're not failing, you're not trying. Right? Yes. Basically. Sounds similar to that. I mean, there's failure is also how you learn. I remember when. At my old job, my office job, we had just been bought out by a new company, and I'm coding all these invoices, and I had no idea if I was doing it properly. I wasn't getting a good job or I wasn't getting a bad job, and I almost wanted someone to tell me
one way or another.
Bad job, because then you can tell me how I need to do it, and I know that I'm doing it properly. I know that I'm doing it accurately, and I just remember wanting any kind of feedback. Didn't care if it was negative or positive, just so I knew,
Give me an idea of what I'm doing is right or wrong.
Exactly, yeah. But failure is how you learn how to fix it.
Don't I know it?
So you also gave a coupon code you gave 2, as we usually request. Right. So there's the exclusive one for our patrons, so we won't mention that one. But what's the one that is good for everybody?
So for everyone, I'm doing my biggest discount yet.
Nice.
All my zookeeper friends, they gotta flock to the podcast.
Yes.
So I'm like
come on over.
Seen World War Z.
What is it?
Sorry.
Sorry. Have you seen the movie World War Z?
No. Oh no.
Oh well, there's a bunch of zombies that just come in and crash. So that's my idea of getting all my people to crash your podcast.
Nice.
Perfect. Crash.
I welcome that kind of crashing.
The coupon code is Riley, RILEY, Black, BLACK. Just spelling it out for my listeners. 30. So Riley Black 30 on Etsy, and it's going to be a 30% off coupon code.
Awesome.
So I can push some products.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then that way people who don't know how to do acrylic pours or don't want to do them themselves can go check out your shop. And tell us your shop and how to find you.
Yes. So I'm on everything on Etsy, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
Perfect.
It's Erin's Acrylic Animals.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think that's it, right? Did we cover all the things? That's
it, and we had great zookeeping stories.
Right?
It was
awesome. Fun. It was. I like the unique ones. I like the unique stories of I left. I had an office job and I bought a silhouette.
Right. Here she went
again.
Here we have someone who went to Africa.
Right?
Which
listen,
amazing.
On my bucket list, there's this place in Africa where it's some giraffe, I think, sanctuary, and you eat breakfast and the windows are at giraffe level and they come join you for breakfast, which is both awesome and terrifying because their heads are huge.
Yeah.
Massive. But I want to do that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I think I've seen that. That place does look really awesome.
I want to go.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to put that on the list.
Yeah.
Start saving.
Right.
I know.
I'll take you guys I'll give you all the good places to go and take you on safaris.
That's awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Well, listen, if we make it to that level, we are definitely taking you up on that.
You're coming.
Because I'm going to push myself to that level too.
Nice. Yay! Yeah, there you go.
I love it.
Put it in the 5-year plan.
Yes.
5 years. Wow.
I know that's kind of soon.
That's
we got to get working.
For Africa.
Let's go.
I guess we're going to Africa in 5 years. Well, thank you for joining us and giving us an hour of your time. And thank you guys for listening. And that's been another great episode of the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Bye.
Bye.
Maybe we're all done.